So Marpa was sitting with eyes closed. He picked up his staff, walked with eyes closed and thrashed Milarepa. He was sitting among the crowd. He came and really thrashed him and physically took him out and threw him out. A three-cornered house is not suitable for my son. Build a four-cornered house. He built a four-cornered house. Then he said, that's not good, build a five-cornered house. Like this, years passed. He worked single-handedly, building these buildings all over the place. Then said, I know where he is, and he took him to the field where Marpa was ploughing the field. So when he took him there, Marpa looked at him and left the plough in the field and gave him a gourd of beer, locally brewed beer. Said, drink this and then plough the land. So Milarepa drank that and ploughed. Marpa left and a child stood there. After he completed the ploughing, he didn't know what to do. He stood there. Then the child came and said, it's time for you to come. The child took him home and then he realized this child was Marpa's own son. Then Marpa put him through all kinds of physical activity. Milarepa bowed down to him and asked him, I want Dhamma from you. That kind of Dhamma. Dhamma means a method or a process which will make me realize and become liberated in this life. I don't want to go to the next one. And also, please be kind enough to give me food and shelter. So Marpa said, you choose. If you want, I'll give you food and shelter. Choose Dhamma elsewhere. Look for Dhamma elsewhere. Or I'll give you Dhamma, you get your food and shelter somewhere else. This is the choice. So Milarepa said, okay, I want your Dhamma, I'll get my own food and shelter. So he went out begging. This is a very spirited man, whatever he does, he little overdoes. So he went out begging and he went far. And he gathered sacks of wheat. He's gathering enough for the whole year so that he can sit here and learn his Dhamma. So he collected a lot, then he sold some of the wheat and bought a copper pot with 4 handles on the side, that's a traditional kind of vessel, to cook his own food. Then this heavy load, very heavy load he carried and walked a long distance back, came into Marpa's house and dropped it with one big boom. Marpa was having his lunch. Halfway through the lunch, he left his lunch, came out and said, it looks like you're very angry. Just now, with your wheat and this vessel, you shook the whole house. It looks like you're out to destroy this house also as you destroyed your uncle's house. Just leave. Enough. Then Milarepa begged, please, you asked me to get my food, I got it. It was too heavy, I dropped it. So Marpa said, nothing doing, you're out. Because you didn't keep the sack right. You threw it down. You're not fit. So you stay out, do chores, plough my field, clean my house, do whatever. For years he did this. So periodically other students came and they were initiated into many things, but Milarepa got not a single initiation, not a single teaching. He did all the hard work. More than 8 years he worked without a single teaching or initiation. Everybody else were coming for a day, they were getting initiated and they're going, but he waited and waited and waited, doing all kinds of hard work. Then one day he came and sneaked in and sat in a satsang like this where he is not supposed to. Marpa was sitting with his eyes closed, so he sneaked in and sat with other students hoping to be initiated. Oh, Marpa was sitting with eyes closed. He picked up his staff, walked with eyes closed and thrashed Milarepa. He was sitting among the crowd. He came and really thrashed him and physically took him out and threw him out of the place. This happened again and again. He gave certain space, and again when another initiation is happening, he sneaked in, hoping this time he will get it. More than 13 years passed, he didn't get anything. Then one day he pleaded with Marpa's wife, who was taking sympathy with him, who was like his mother, and he begged her, please tell him to give me something. Just one teaching, one little meditation. I know nothing, I'm sitting here for so many years. So she used her good offices with her husband. Then okay, Marpa said, first let him build a house for my son. Single-handedly, he must build a house. I want a three-cornered house. So he built a three-cornered house, it took 2 years. Then he looked at it and said, three-cornered house is not suitable for my son, build a four-cornered house. He built a four-cornered house. Then he said, that's not good, build a five-cornered house. Like this years passed. He worked single-handedly, building these buildings all over the place. Then he said, that is okay, but I need a 60-foot high tower for my son's house. So he built 60-foot high towers, 4 towers at 4 corners of the house. By then he was aging. Then one day he went and crawled at the mother's feet and asked, please do something, my life is passing away. I have not even been given a single teaching. What is this? I know I have done horrible things in the past, I have misused occult and things, but haven't I done enough?